We live.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Love and Marriage Podcast. I'm your host, Wendy O. This is my co-host, Hotep Jesus. How you doing tonight, Hotep?
I'm doing quite swell in yourself.
I'm doing good. We got a lot of
Heavy. We got some
craziness.
heavy topics tonight.
We got some pretty heavy topics tonight. But before we get into the heavy topics, how was your week?
Mm, okay. Okay. Let's just say I didn't get shit done. I literally got nothing done this week. So
Was it personal or because of kids or just one of those weeks?
just one of those weeks, my business partners are out of town. Halima's out of town. I'm about to be out of town. So it's just like that whole, that week of traveling and whatnot. It's just like all the pieces just aren't coming together to get shit done. I only thing I was able to get done this week is, working on my book or actually editing that. I'm waiting on my cover. I've been waiting on the cover for 3 months now, maybe longer. So I'm getting worried about that. But other than that, life is good. What about you? How's your week been?
It was good. So we went out of town to celebrate. We've been married 9 years. I didn't realize
When was
that
your anniversary?
our anniversary is on May 27th.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
We should have
so
did an anniversary episode.
He's in the doghouse right now
Why?
because I told him because we had a really good weekend. We didn't argue. He started getting a little bit cuckoo one time, and then I was able to calm him down because he's a hot mess. Sometimes he's like all over the place because he likes to be very, very dominant sometimes, like whatever. So last night I told him, I was like, what are your plans? Are you racing? What are you doing? And he's like, I have to do things I don't want to do. I was like, okay, I know this, like, you have to clean the garage because you have a bunch of stuff that you don't want to get rid of. And that's on you. That's not on me. So I was like, do you want to go to dinner? He's like, no. And I was like, and so I took my nighttime medicine to go to sleep, and he like came and tried to start arguing with me, and I was just laughing at him. He got so mad.
Yeah, I usually just say yes to those questions.
See, that's what I was saying. Like, because he wants to watch the fight, and that's fine. I want to watch the fight too. But I like we could go to dinner like 2 o'clock, like 2-3 o'clock. We'll be back in time for the fight. The
Yeah.
fight starts at 5 o'clock. Like, because he's not racing. I was like, let's go enjoy each other.
Anytime the lady just phrases a question, do you wanna? The answer is usually yes. Yeah, sure, I wanna do whatever you wanna do. Yeah, where are we going now? Okay, fine. I'm not gonna be thrilled about it, but it's just like whatever the fuck. Whatever you want, lady. You know what I'm saying? It's just that type of thing. That's just at least how I operate.
Dinner without kids though. Like if she books childcare and she's gonna be paying for dinner or whatever, don't you isn't that a happy thing? Isn't that a fun thing?
No.
So how are you gonna eat then?
We can eat at home.
But you have childcare.
We can eat at home, and the childcare can still work. Or we can send the childcare home, and we don't even need the childcare because we're staying home. I'm just gonna, but again, whatever she wants to do.
Okay, but what I need to understand what the issue with going out to dinner with your significant other, with your fiance is.
What about that?
If she wants to plan to go to dinner with you, why are you not excited about it?
What's there to be excited about?
Because it's just you and her spending time together.
Huh? Wait, what'd you say? I don't. I mean, maybe I'm jaded because we always go out. Like we tend to do like brunches and shit like that. So like,
With the kids though?
no, we leave the kids at home.
Okay.
Yeah, the kids can stay home. They're big enough to watch themselves.
But I mean, it's just about spending, like, you're supposed to put yourselves first in the relationship. That's how strong relationships are. Oh, hell no. How are strong relationships not built when the parents are put first?
I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about like what happens when two black holes connect 10 billion years from now, right? I'm thinking about how fast is communism going to destroy our way of life, right? These are the things I'm thinking about. Like, it's like, and women are like, oh, I want to go out to dinner. And I'm like, the commies are coming.
Why can't you talk about this stuff at dinner?
No, no. Women aren't qualified to have that conversation.
We are qualified to have the
Oh,
conversation.
no,
Yes,
you're
we
not.
are.
No, you're not.
We are. We 100% are. So let me ask you this then. You want to be able to put your cold feet on somebody every night, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's give and take.
Yeah, that's what I said. You know, like whatever she wants to do, I'm down. It doesn't mean I have to be happy about it. What's there to be happy about? I have to leave my house. I hate leaving my house.
But you get to spend time with your person, with your lady.
Yeah, that's fun, I guess. But again, like it's about the future. Like, you know, like women are so like, I want to do this right now, and I'm like, I never want to have to worry about how we pay for dinner again, right? Like, I want to set it up so that like we have dinner in a fucking helicopter. You know, like this is the type of life I'm trying to live on a private jet. Like I'm trying to live luxurious, right? And y'all trying to like go out now, and it's just like, can I get the yacht first? Let's get the yacht, and then we worried about going out.
You know, it's okay to go out and to treat yourself.
I buy guns to treat myself, guns and ammo, and Bitcoin. That's how I treat myself.
I can't. I cannot. I bought him a watch this weekend too.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
What'd he say?
Well, because we went into, I forgot, we were driving home and they had these stores, whatever. And I says, oh, you want to watch? Let's stop there. And he said, okay. And
Oh,
I
that's
says,
sweet.
do you want this one or this one? Because the other one was a really, really expensive. And
Was that his anniversary gift? Was that you giving him his anniversary gift?
kind of, I guess, because I paid for everything. I paid for all the food and everything on the trip because I can
trip?
now. We went away last weekend to
Where y'all
celebrate.
went?
We went to Ojai, California.
Ohio.
Ojai.
Ohio.
It's a bougie mountain town, like very expensive, like very bougie.
And what y'all do up there?
I drank wine. I fell asleep on the patio, and we
White
went
people
out.
shit. Just say white people shit.
It's not white people shit though. There's people from all different.
You went somewhere nice and you drank wine.
Yeah, and we ate lots of delicious food. A lot of delicious food.
Fellas, let me tell you something. You can never disconnect women from food. You see, men eat to nourish. Women eat out of pure gluttony. They want to eat everything. They want to taste everything. And men are just eating because it's a task. Like for me, eating is a task.
I see you eating on the show. You eat Doritos, you eat Cheez-Its.
But it's a task. It's because my body is saying, hey, we're hungry. We haven't eaten in a few hours. Right? It's a task still. I don't enjoy it. Matter of fact, one of my wishes was, if I had wish, it was to never be hungry again. To never have to need to eat. That and sleep. If I can get rid of eating and sleeping, I'd get more time out of my day.
Right, but it's nice to indulge.
It's some female stuff. That's a female way of thinking. Oh, it's time to indulge. Yes, only a woman has the luxury of indulging. We've gone over this. Men don't have time to be happy.
That's why you guys are with us, because you low-key want that.
We want you to be happy.
Okay, so yeah.
And in turn, when you're happy, I'm happy.
Yeah, so
I feel accomplished. I've done my job.
But he likes going out of town though. He likes doing these little things because he just gets to like relax.
Okay. I can see that.
So he had a good time because he didn't have to wake up and, do dad stuff, because our daughter is like so obsessed with him on the weekends. She is like, she'll sleep with her face like this on his face like this.
Uh-huh.
She gives him no personal space. She rubs her face in his beard. She's like very like daddy's girl, like has to be with him 24/7, 365. But anyways, but I got him to watch everything. He got to pick it out, whatever. But I wanted to go to I like to go to dinner on Saturdays.
Saturday, the busiest day of the week. Okay.
Well, we go at like 2 or 3 o'clock because I like to drink wine and pass out.
Women, I'm telling you, drink wine and pass out.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
If I could be born again, I definitely want to be a woman.
Why?
It just seems so much fucking fun. You guys don't have a care in the world. The commies are coming. You're like, I just want to drink wine and pass out. But the damn commies are coming.
I know they're coming, but what am I going to do about it?
That's the man's worry. You have to insulate your family from it in every single facet possible. They're going to try and attack you from all angles.
Yeah, well, they've been here. You saw. Well, I don't have to tell you the news. You saw the damn news today.
Let me read the super chats. Wasted Talent Podcast. He's not grifting. Stop grifting, people. Hit the super chats. We about to get into some deep topics tonight. $4.99. He said, "Eat on the air." Yo, I had my meal during my chess stream, so I had some good stewed chicken my mama made. Stewed chicken and ranks, real good stuff. SoCal Lance 1999 said, "Shouldn't Crypto Wendy O be podcasting from the kitchen? Just saying." Yes, she should. Wendy O, from now on, we gotta do the show. You gotta do it from the kitchen.
Oh, well, I'm mad at him, so I'm not cooking for him.
Are you gonna do the show from the kitchen though?
I could, but I don't have the setup.
And you're gonna have to create the setup, and you got to make sandwiches throughout the entire show.
That'd be so funny.
You know how many people would hate this show because of that?
You know what I'm going to do for the grifties? Because you're going to let me present something. When I give my segment, I'm going to be in the kitchen and I'm going to be making a sandwich when I'm announcing the winner.
Oh, I like that. Let's do it. Let's do it. Book it. Taylor, you heard it here first. Book it. Okay, shout out to Taylor and Arctic Leaf, our video homies. Great people over there. If you need video solutions for your project or business, shout out to Arctic Leaf. Tell them Hotep sent you.
Anyways, all right, you want to get into the topics because women are always right. Anyways, because there's some some crazy stuff going on. This is your page, not my page. Let me go to do you want to talk about the first thing that's not as the heavy and then get into the heavy stuff?
Yeah, let's do it like that.
Okay, so this first one, there's a woman, her name is Harriet Hunt. She posted this on Twitter. I don't know who she is. Apparently I'm just going to read it to you. It's just, okay, I'm looking. Okay, she, they, Alphabet Mafia. Okay, this makes sense. 100% sense now. I'm glad I read the bio. "I'll never forget when a boy in my high school chemistry class told me he'll never work at NASA and laughed at me. That was the day I decided to become an engineer." And she's got all these pictures of her.
He said she'll never make it at NASA, or he'll never make it at NASA?
"You'll never work at NASA and laughed at me. That was the day I decided to become an engineer." Now she's got all this NASA stuff in her, whatever. The tweet got 466,000 likes, 3,232 quoted tweets, and 31,000 retweets.
And you said she has pronouns in her bio.
Yep, and Alphabet Mafia.
Well, that explains pretty much everything.
Yeah, I didn't see that part. But I guess we can kind of talk about why do women feel the need to prove men wrong? Why do they base their dreams, their hopes, their lives about a man telling them they can't do something? An irrelevant man. It was somebody in her chemistry class. I got picked on all throughout like elementary school and junior high. I just wanted to go party and have fun. That's what I wanted to do. I didn't care about proving these people wrong. I'm not going to do something to prove somebody wrong, like a group of people maybe, but not just one particular person. To me, that's like weird stalkerish. It's kind of like you get so fixated on someone's opinion about you. Like, obviously it hurts your feelings if somebody's going to say something mean about you, but I'm not going to base my whole life around somebody who doesn't believe in me. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah. A lot of people didn't believe in me in a lot of things. I can't remember who they are though. I can't remember what they said. That's how significant they were. But you know, to answer your question, a woman's life revolves around a man. They like women are obsessed with men. Everything they do is because of men. They think about men all day long. It's an obsession. Obsession. Sometimes it's even borderline disgusting.
That's weird though. Like, I don't know.
Hmm.
Like, I care about what my husband thinks and I'll fight him if I have to,
Hmm.
but I don't care. Like, some random person that's going to tell me, like, you know, like, especially when I'm that young, like, I wouldn't even, I don't even remember half the people I went to school with.
Hmm.
Like, my sisters still stay in contact with those types of people sometimes, but I don't. It's like, why? I just don't understand. Like, that tweet totally blew up. So a lot of people are just like, kind of like, some people were making fun of her, other people were like cheering her on. But why are we cheering on a woman who did something because a man or, you know, a colleague was like, you can't do this? Like, it's just kind of lame that you can't look inside yourself and be inspired by yourself. Like, you became an engineer because someone said you couldn't be an engineer.
Yeah, is she even good at her job? What if she's like, you know, what if she just changes the waste paper basket at NASA?
Well, she was an intern, so I'm sure she had to do that one time. But I just think it's really weird that somebody would base their whole freaking career over something like that. So, but anyways, that's just my opinion about it. I think it's very bizarre. I think it's very weird. Hold on. Oh, this one we have to talk about because we forgot to do it last time. This one is a little bit light too.
Hold on.
So,
Chad Lemoyne 499, he said, quote unquote, I don't have the setup equals she has ketchup and mayo only. Wendy O Hotep, salute Hotep Jesus, and hey Wendy, late to the party. What up, Cannon? What up, Cannon? Make sure y'all follow Cannon Hotep and subscribe to his channel. Good people's right there. Part of the Hotep camp. Hotep army.
love it. I like the Hotep community. You guys are awesome.
Thank you. We're slowly growing.
So this one person, I think is a crypto Twitter person. I don't know. It's all weird people.
What is
on
Hotep?
There. What is Hotep?
What is Hotep?
It's a lifestyle. To me, it's a lifestyle of improvement to educating yourself, to being aware of your surroundings, to helping and uplifting others, and to be a free thinker. That's, to me, that's what it means. So that's when I think of you as a person, that's what I think of. That's what first comes to my mind.
Well put. Well put. I love it. I love it. Thank you.
I mean,
I just wanted to make sure, because somebody says, oh, you know, they might ask you, what is Hotep? You know, I just wanted to make sure you'd be able to explain it. You know, I think you did a fabulous job of it.
I mean, because like when I look at you, like you're willing to help people. You're very pragmatic. You like to break things down. You like to actually understand, like, why is this happening? Where did it come from? Where's the origin from? You're like, oh, okay, that's ridiculous. I'm not going to waste any more time of it. But it's all about, you know, you encourage your audience and your followers to think for themselves.
Yeah. You know, what good is a mind if the mind isn't free?
Exactly. And I mean, realistically, our bodies are not free anymore, all kinds of crazy stuff. So somebody posted this. I don't know if this is real or not. They said the federal government announced a new partnership with popular dating apps, including Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, OkCupid, blah, 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 that will introduce a new feature for people who got the pokey. According to White House officials, this will include the ability to display badges showing people's status and a filter to only show people who got the V. As an incentive, V users will also get other extra features, including boost and super swipes.
The agenda continues.
You know the crazy thing about that? They don't do that for HIV positive people. And I would think that would be a little bit more of a serious health condition than.
But they don't have stabbies for that.
It doesn't matter, but you should, I mean, that's something that's kind of serious. If somebody has that should be disclosed. It's not always disclosed. It's actually a crime. If you are positive and you transmit it to someone else.
You're saying to show the status of, okay, yeah. I agree. Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of serious. This is kind of not serious. It was funny because I was in my I was on my Instagram page and my private one, and I remember posting a picture about Ebola, when Ebola was like this really big thing back in 2014.
Yeah.
And they were like freaking everybody was so freaked out about it. This is back in 2014.
Yes.
Ebola is like a real, was like a real scary thing. Like you get like, doesn't your skin fall off?
Something like that.
But they were like concerned about that. But anyways, I just thought that was kind of ridiculous. Let me see. There's something else. There's some more stuff over here. Do you want to talk about UNICEF?
Yeah.
Okay. So UNICEF, and I have to be, and guys, just so you know, I'm going to have to use abbreviations here because there's a lot of things I cannot say. But UNICEF reports dismissing P's harm to babes, and it's removed from the site. So basically what happened is recently the International Child Welfare Agency, UNICEF, published their April 2021 report. It was called Digital Age Assurance Tools and Babes' Rights Across the Online Rights Across the Globe, which caused widespread concern amongst babe safety experts and advocates. And it was basically the report was talking about how babes are exposed to pee and the consequences of it. So basically UNICEF came out and said there's not serious consequences to children being exposed to that type of content. We don't have any evidence that it's going to cause any type of issues. So it's not a big deal if they're exposed to it. And we don't know. And because we don't know the different degrees of the different types of pee, we can't, it's not of a danger, because of course there's different types of pee, but either way, it's all not good. Like even like basic sex scenes in movies, kids should probably not be watching anyways. So the fact that they removed that, and the fact that they basically said it cannot cause harm to babes, is kind of really scary that we have these large organizations saying that, which you can't do a case study of that. There's no way you can do a case study of it, because that would really cause harm to that specific group of people that they were trying to study. But we do have data from children that have experienced things that have happened to them, or they have watched traumatic things happen to other people around them, and it causes trauma to them. So one would assume that if a babe is exposed to let's say physical violence on a video game, it's going to cause a little bit of issues that they can kind of study, because that's kind of happening already. But the fact that they said that they had to remove it because it doesn't cause harm to them because they can't prove it, is really scary.
And you want to go out to dinner.
Huh?
You see what I'm saying? This is the type of shit that's happening in the world, and you're like, I just want to drink wine and pass out.
What am I going to do? What I can do as a person, in my household, we don't have that stuff. I'm very cautious of what my child watches. I know what she's watching.
But again, when you think like a dictator, like I do, I think like a dictator. I always put myself in the dictator's shoes. What would I do if I was leader of the world? And then I try to figure out how you would affect change in the world, right? And how you would combat some of this nutball shit happening. And then it just always brings me back to what the mission is, right? And bringing better content, and bringing that truthful content, going back to what you were saying before about hoteps and the type of content we put out. But that's what I'm saying. Like, the commies are coming, like they are, like, they're ruthless. This is and disgusting, and like, you can't even put that into words. There's no words that can define how I feel about that. Usually I have a lot to say on a topic, and something like that, I just feel disgusted.
It's upsetting because how, like me, like we're both parents, like how, I just can't rationalize in my head like how somebody would think that that's okay, or because there's no scientific evidence. Like there's enough scientific data of actual survivors
It's because it's can't say that, but you got the
Well, look at our freaking president. He was sitting, what was that speech he did? He was doing a speech and he stopped his speech to comment on a girl that was sitting, a 19-year-old girl or something like that, that was sitting in the front. I'm thinking to myself, like, and people, I mean, people are like okay with that. And it's like, that's that creepy family member that everybody knows something's wrong with them
hmm,
and they're doing things and nobody says anything about it.
hmm.
And I just I don't really even have words myself. It's just it's upsetting, it's angering. It's like you kind of wonder what goes on in some people's minds about this type of stuff. Like how could you not be upset? Why would you not be like taking to the streets and like enraged like we've seen so many different protests, we've seen all these different things, and I'm not saying none of those had merit, but we're talking about a whole generation of every single type of in that segment that's being impacted regardless of race or whatever it is. It's it's they took that whole demographic and they basically said you don't matter.
You got Weinstein, got Epstein. Like, it's these type of individuals that's like these powerful people. I feel like it's people like them making these decisions
Mm-hmm.
like that, you know? So it just comes back to the whole Epstein and the island and all of that weird shit they was doing in it. I don't know. Without like getting my channel banned, I don't know how to express myself.
Well, I think that the only way that we can combat this and is know what's going on in our communities, paying attention to what's going on in communities, donating to community centers, being involved, to a certain extent to kind of spread awareness and to protect. I don't really know
I
what
mean,
else to do.
it's really gonna just at the core level, I think what it does is it ruins relationships between peoples.
Mm-hmm.
You know, text messaging has ruined relationships with people. Um, but it's the the P content is like it destroys your perception of things
Mm-hmm.
and expectations, and then it's like, are you even motivated to go see a real girl? You know what I mean? So it ruins so many things with the society.
Yeah,
I say we ban it.
I just think just seeing all this crazy stuff that's happening, it's just really been everything's kind of been taken too far, and it's just really sad and upsetting because I feel like at least in the past, people had some sort of morals, like what was allowed on TV and whatnot. Of course, like way back when there was still bad stuff that happened on TV, but they were like the scenes that they had back then on TV when it came to two people together being intimate, like a lot like in the 50s or the 60s, they didn't really show that. They would cut the camera. So it's like, why can't we bring that type of content back towards not like out there for these people, for these kids to see? Like, I don't know. It's very, very upsetting. And that's one of the reasons why we decided to put her in private schools because I just want to make sure that like the school she's at, there that none of that stuff is allowed. Like they're very, very strict. I guess in one of the fourth grade classes they were talking about the civil rights movement and different things, and in one of the pages of the book, one of the people that was involved with the civil rights it was movement leading it, it was a particular man of a particular sexual preference. So the parents or so the teachers didn't they ripped the books out, or they ripped the paper out of the books, and they copied it and they sent it to the parents. They say, hey, this was in the book. If you want to teach I'm not going to teach the classes. I don't feel comfortable teaching the classes. It's a fourth grade class. They don't need to know, about that person's sexual life. If you want to teach about it in your home or whenever you guys are ready to, go ahead, but we're not doing it in our school.
That's
That's
what they
why.
do. That's what they doing right now with our history. They always inserting that shit in there.
Well, did you see the Target ad that came out?
What target ad?
Let me pull it up really quick. I'll take a screen cap and send it to you.
Oh boy, here we go.
Because I'm every Sunday morning, I wake up and I look at the Target ad.
What Target ad? They play a new one every Sunday or something?
Oh yeah, they have a new one. They've got a new, they've got a very interesting,
Marshall Forward said, yo, what up, bro?
they've got a very interesting category on Target's website now, but let me go find this
Yeah.
ad.
Will they like launch a new thing?
Well, it is Pride Month, which I do support Pride to a certain extent. I support old school Pride, not current day Pride, because current day Pride is a lot different than what it was intended to be, and I think it's ridiculous. Okay, I'm going to screen cap and send it to you so you can see. I just thought it was a very interesting. Yeah, I'm going to send it to your DMs. I thought it was a very interesting picture that they used out of all the pictures that they could have used. But I just thought it was a very interesting one. So I sent it to you. I just kind of want to I was going to send it to you over the weekend, but I forgot. I want to kind of get your thoughts.
Oh, man. Oh, let me see if I can bring this up on the screen so everybody can see what we're dealing with here. Boom, boom, boom. Now y'all should see it. Yeah.
It's inclusive though, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's no black men in it. Very inclusive. Unique black men.
But I mean, and then, well, there's not even, it's all girls, and it's just very, I just stopped and I kind of had to look and was like, interesting. Like,
even
okay.
the race, right? The race they chose.
Yeah, I just kind of thought that it was
very specific.
It was very specific. Like, I think, like, I mean, it wouldn't have really caught my eye if it was like maybe, a black lady and like an Asian lady, or like a black lady, Latina, like, it was like kind of mixed a little bit.
Yeah. It's not mixed at all.
But it was very specific, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's the target demographic of white liberal politics. And not only the target demographic, but also the army for white liberal politics. Front lines.
I just was like, it was Sunday morning and I was like, I cannot believe this is like in the ad. It was just very, very.
Sylvester said the dog is the man.
It was a white dog. I like that they put a white dog there for diversity, right?
Oh man, and it's a white man. Oh Lord have mercy.
So that was that, and I was like, oh, this is very interesting. I guess we can, so we talked about that part, which was not a fun thing, but I do want to talk. I sent you a clip. We can't play it because the copyright, blah blah blah, but this was Robbie Starbuck posted it, but it was about opposing critical race theory. What did you think after you watched that video?
Oh, with the little girl.
Yeah, and the dad.
It was cool, I guess.
I thought it was cool.
I wasn't impressed as most people were.
I was impressed.
I wasn't really excited either.
I was impressed because I think it's important to teach your kids not to, like, if you want to have internal conversations with them about specific things, that's fine. But I think it's important to kind of keep that out of the household, because at a lot of the schools in California, they're teaching the elementary school kids about CTR or CRT. And is it really needed in elementary school?
No. Like, I agree with the opposition of it, right? Their stand against it. I agree with that. I just wasn't wholly impressed by. Usually here's what you need to impress me. You need evidence or some sort of reinforcement to back your claim, and some strong and hopefully multiple angles. So I didn't see much intelligence in the video. I just saw, hey guys, we don't want CRT in our school. And it's like, all right, cool, I agree, but can you tell me like why? So, like, he was
with his daughter though. He was with his daughter. There's not a whole lot of room. You have like 60 seconds to talk about it, because I think they made a TikTok or something. But I was impressed with the fact that, that he's teaching his child that stuff's not important to an extent, because I don't think kids should be worrying about that at that type of age.
I disagree.
How do you go about it with your family?
I think that there are many cultures who are very specific about their race. And I believe that they talk about their race. For example, in India, you got the Brahmins. The Brahmins believe that they have a higher status than the rest of the people. You mean to tell me that a young Brahmin kid is going to not be conditioned with the same mindset of his parents to believe that Brahmins are of a higher status than the rest of the population? No, they are going to breed that into him, right? I
Let's talk.
believe that hold on. I believe that there are cultures breeding superiority into their children, and while others aren't, those others will be devoured by the ones who teach their children superiority. The problem with the black community is we teach inferiority and not superiority, or we teach equality instead of superiority. I teach my kids superiority. I teach my kids supremacy. We don't do weak shit. No weakness. All strength. No weakness.
I'm talking about in like okay, the example you gave in India. India is a different country. They do things way, way, way
But
differently. I'm
they
talking.
come here
I
with
know
that
they come here,
mentality.
but what I'm
Muslims
saying,
come here with that mentality.
they do. That's 100% correct.
And the Chinese and the Asians, they come here with that mentality. There's nothing wrong with it. But they come here with that mentality while the rest of us are trying to play the equality game. And you know who's running the world right now? Sure as hell ain't me and you.
Right.
It's the
Well,
people who are playing superiority.
right. Well, I was brought up that, my mom was very proud of her culture. We're very proud to be Sicilian. We're proud to be Italian. My dad was very, very proud to be Jewish. So we were taught about, different strengths that we had
Mm-hmm.
as far as that goes. But we were also taught we were taught about equality also.
There's no such thing as equality.
Well, that's what I was taught growing up.
What is equality? You can't define that.
I define it as just treating people with respect,
But
treating everybody with the
that's not
same amount of
equality.
respect.
That's not
How,
equality. That's called respect.
okay, so to me, if you treat everybody the same, that's equality.
That's reciprocity.
What's equality then?
There is no such thing as equality.
Look up the definition.
Equality only exists in mathematical equations. It's the only place
Okay.
you'll find equality
I'm going to
in a
read the
mathematical
definition.
equation. You're gonna read some white liberal hoopla about what equality means. But equality is a math term. If you're not talking about math, you don't have equality.
The state of being equal.
Correct.
The ideas of liberty and equality.
Right. White liberal jargon.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Read the example. Yeah.
The example, and this is the Webster dictionary, that it's absurd. This is the examples of equality in a sentence. It is absurd to suggest that there's an equality in the evil committed by the Nazis and the crimes of the government of that Asian country. That was the example.
See? See? What are they talking about? This is the problem. There is no such thing as equality. No two people are alike. No two people are equal. Not even two twins are equal.
Right, but I feel that you should treat everybody with the same amount of respect.
No, you shouldn't.
Why?
You should treat people with decency, but not everybody deserves respect.
So you should treat everybody with the same amount of decency.
Yes.
Okay, that I can get behind.
Maybe. I'm not treating Epstein with the same amount of decency as somebody else.
That's different. When we're talking about people that commit DV and that
like
type
if
of
you're
stuff.
scum, you don't deserve
Well,
respect,
exactly.
right?
You deserve to go.
If you're on the internet arguing with strangers and you're broke, I'm not going to give you respect. I'll treat you with decency and pity, but I'm not going to respect you.
You just made me think about things differently.
You get no equality. There's no equality.
You just made me think about things differently then. So I guess I don't Because I don't treat everybody with respect. I just ignore people.
I look at it like a three-dimensional figure. Everybody in your life exists. Let's say you're the nucleus of this three-dimensional figure, right? Everybody exists at some coordinate around you as the nucleus.
Okay.
Some at further distances, some at closer distances, some at different angles, right? So we're dealing with different coordinates within space. No two coordinates can be alike. You only have one coordinate, and that's how it works with people. So you'll have two sets of friends. You will never, I don't care how close you are with your friends, they will always exist within your sphere in two separate coordinates. You will never feel the same about them. You will never feel the same about any two friends you have.
So you're telling me my mom didn't love all of us equally?
No, that's not what I'm saying. You cannot love equally. There is no equality in love. There's just a difference in how your love is expressed and felt.
Okay.
There's no measuring. You got to remove the measure. Love is a all or nothing. It's an all or nothing game. Either you love someone or you don't. There's no levels of love. That's where people get it screwed up. Because when you love, you love. It's unconditional. Mm-hmm. If you don't love, then you don't love. But it's not like, oh, I love this person more than the other. No, you fancy them because of certain preferences and how they fit into your sphere, how they fit into your 3D object. But it's not like, because at certain moments you might be like, I don't want this person for this purpose. I want another person in my life for this.
So they're just like how I'm mad at my husband because he didn't want to go to dinner with me.
Yeah, he's just in a different coordinate right now. You've shifted his place in space.
I really like that explanation because I didn't think of it that way. I just thought that everybody is equal and da-da-da-da. Like, obviously, there's differences, but I never thought of decency. I never thought of respect, decency, and equality. And coming from a math background, that makes sense.
That's see, when you tell Black people that you're going to give them equality, really what you're saying is that white people are the bar. They're the par bar. They are what you should attain to. So we are going to bring you up to the level of white people. That's their definition of equality when practiced. That's what they mean. When they say equality, oh, we need equality. You're basically saying that, Black people should be treated in this country just as well as white people. That's what you're basically saying.
Well, me personally, never thought of it that way. I just thought everybody should be like the way that, let me try to use this scenario. When I worked in healthcare, I managed 200 to 300 patients per month. And I tried to treat all of my patients equally, no matter what type of mood they came in. And they were all different types of people from all different backgrounds. So maybe that's where I'm getting maybe that's why.
No, you gave them as much of you as you could, but you didn't treat them equally. It's impossible.
I did my best. Oh my gosh, I did my best.
You couldn't have treated them equally because it's physically impossible, because somebody you're going to favor more.
Yeah, the ones that used to bring me in like cookies and stuff.
Yeah, you're going to favor them more naturally. But or there's going to be preconceived notions or discrimination, just might feel a certain type of way. Like, what if you walk in a room and every time you walk in a room, it smells like farts? You're not going to be pleasant when you have to go see that person.
Yeah, just like when the guy came in and he tried to pay his copay with Burger King coupons.
Yeah. This is what happens. But yeah, man. Equality is. And it's funny because I'm in the middle of reading autobiography of Malcolm X. Very interesting read. So and then putting that together with where my head is now today is very interesting. Understand where he but he was right about a lot.
Well, I learned a lot from you right now about the difference between equality, respect, and decency.
Good. But
So thank you for that, because that made sense, because I just guess I was so used to just saying I'm treating everybody equally, which in fact is physically impossible because I couldn't, because I was in healthcare 7 years. So I was just used to doing my best that I could to treat everybody the same, making sure they all got the same care, no matter if they came in smelling or if they were mean or they were just upset with me or whatever it was. So I guess I just treated everybody with decency.
yes, decency, correct.
Okay.
You gave them a base level of respect uh, that 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 is based upon your perception of what amount of respect you can give. Everybody has a certain view of how much respect somebody should or shouldn't have, and how much you're willing to give.
So the word term equality should only be applied to mathematics. And if somebody is using the
Correct.
term equality, then that's probably
They're ignorant or racist or both.
okay. That makes sense. So I'm going to start using the term
I want equality. Fuck me up.
decency.
I don't want equality. I want supremacy.
I want decency. I want basic decency. That's what I want.
Give me superiority.
You can have your superiority with your staying home talking about the two black holes colliding and
Well, what happens when two black holes collide? I don't think so.
does one absorb the other?
Potentially. That's one.
My
That's one theory.
my aunt is really, she's like, my aunt, she is the most difficult woman I've ever met in my life,
Mm,
but she is the smartest person I've met in my life.
mm.
And she'll go into like these topics and but she's also very negative, and she did a lot of damage to herself from being so negative and being hateful because of a man.
I don't keep negative people around me.
I she's very intelligent and I love her because she's family, but I do not talk to her as much as I used to because I do the same thing. I keep negative people out of my life because it's not benefiting me. And what I'll do is I'll do my best to be of service and to be there if they need me or they need help. But I've also learned recently to set boundaries and say, I don't really want to deal with this because it's going to be upsetting for me. So I struggle a lot because because again, when I was in healthcare, I was so used to being there for my clients in every sense possible that I can give to them, like emotionally and physically, because I had to be in the pharmacy and stuff. So it was hard for me to kind of learn boundaries, and I'm still growing. I'm still learning them now. So that's kind of
I
my
I got some loved ones who have health and wealth issues, and they're very negative about their issues in the sense where they don't really want advice. The advice that you do give, they'll make excuses why they can't execute on it. Um, but it's very draining. So I've come to the point where I can only have conversations with them once every so often, just to check on them, tell them I love them. You know what I mean, make sure they're good. Need a couple of dollars, give them a couple of dollars. But after that, I kind of gotta like reset because I feel really drained after those phone conversations. I feel like really like torn down and helpless. Um, but yeah, I hate when people are like super negative. So I usually try to distance myself from 'em.
It's hard for me because I was brought up. My mom brought us up to because they're family, you stick with them, and because they're family, you have to. And that's
Yeah,
part of being Italian is the Italians are they're very loyal to their people, like pretty much over everything. So that was like it was very hard for me to cut ties with some of my family members because it just wasn't serving me anymore. And that's why I
yeah,
was so negative for a long time too, is because I didn't know that that there was a better quality of life available because my mom always keeps these negative family members around because she feels a moral obligation to her father and her mother to do so. And I'm like, Mom, they're not nice to you. Your sisters aren't nice to you or this or that. She's like, well, I have to do it. I have to take care of them. And I'm like, no, you really don't though. And
yeah.
I didn't realize this until I was older. And again, I'm still learning, but boundaries and that's one of the things I learned from the boxing gym and why I love and support that place so much is because I'm learning boundaries about myself. And, if I come in and like I talk to her about something that's upsetting me, she's like, she's like, set
Mm,
boundaries. And so I'm learning to do that within myself and everything. So it's helping.
mm. That's dope. That's dope. Yeah, boundaries are very important. What's the next topic?
All right, next topic. This is the last topic. All right. So, which one, which one was it?
It wasn't
Wait, oh, the lady.
the
The
lady.
lady the lady on the thumbnail.
Oh, the Naomi Osaka.
Yeah, so
The lady
okay.
on the thumbnail.
Well,
you
I didn't
you
want
don't
to.
know who Naomi is?
She's a famous. I know who she is, but I forgot who it was.
Oh, okay.
She's
All right.
and I don't want to say it was the wrong person. So
Right.
she's a very famous and well known tennis player, from what I know. So the reason I heard about this, I heard about
Hold
it
on.
last night.
First of all, she's a staple in the black community. I don't know if you know that. Like she's
I
the next
didn't know that.
Serena Williams.
Okay,
Okay, continue.
I'm here for it.
Now I'm just saying that just to provide context to it because, I'm black. I really don't give a fuck about this shit, but because I'm black, you kind of like you're in that same, environment as other people, so they generally care about it. So when you said the lady on the thing, it was just funny to me because in my world it's like priority, in your world it's like just some fucking tennis player, which I actually love. But continue.
Well, I mean, okay. And the reason why I heard about it is because at the community meeting last night with Miss Nita, she was talking about her idea for something that she's doing that we're working on. And she brought up Miss Naomi Osaka because mental health is going to be a big priority in the United States with all this crazy stuff that's happening, especially because we've been in a panorama for the last year and a half, and a lot of people are having a lot of emotional issues. The suicide rates are blah, blah, blah. Anyways, so Grand Slam leaders pledged to address Naomi Osaka's concerns. So I guess the leaders of the 4 Grand Slam tournaments reacted Tuesday to tennis stars' stunning withdrawal from the French Open by promising to address players' concerns about mental health. So from what I'm reading, the 4-time major champion, number 2 ranked player, was fined $15,000 when she didn't speak to reporters after her first round victory. So they fined her for not speaking to reporters?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
They have to? Is that in their contract?
Something like that.
Okay. Tennis players are required to attend news conferences if requested to do so, and fines up to $20,000 if they don't show up. But I guess she kind of took, from what I understand, because I can't read the whole article here, but I guess she took like a mental health day off, and people like lost their mind.
Yeah. We posted about it on jeancourt.com. Chad wrote a great story about it. I thought it was pretty good. I tweeted the story out and people were in my mentions, arguing with themselves. Because, I don't respond. But they're in there arguing with themselves about, I'll read some of these tweets, actually. Let's read some of these tweets.
I think that's a fantastic idea because I'm curious to see that, because I have my own opinion about it, but I want to hear the general consensus of it.
It's just really hypocritical. When I zoom out, it looks really hypocritical to criticize Naomi. All right, so here's one. I think it's not her they are against. It's the future of the sport as its support is diminishing. Now I can agree with that. Let me find some of the derogatory ones. This guy here. What is this? I'm just disappointed at how she created such a big spectacle of herself. What? It's like the #1 player of the world. What are you talking about? She didn't make a big spectacle of herself. She decided not to join in the media, and the media blew this shit up by finding her, and everybody else started talking about it. How does she? This other person. If you want to get in a professional competitive sport, it comes with winning, losing, and pressure. Maybe a different career path is the path forward. What is he talking about? Like, she's like the #1 tennis player in the world. Why would she need to choose another career path? Because she doesn't want to talk to the media. Like, then this other one, yes, rich ass humans. This other guy, do these athletes play for the thrill of the game and the competition, or for the 2 comma paychecks? The reason they can make the big money is the TV contracts. Part of why the TV channel is paying so much to get those interviews. Stay amateur athlete then. And I really just want to hone down on this because I feel like he really speaks for the general population when it comes to something like this, right? And this is like utterly disgusting because these are the same people that'll tell you the media is evil, this is all bread and circus, but then they turn around and they defend these big sports clubs and these big media conglomerates, right? So it says, Do these athletes play for the thrill of the game and the competition or for the 2 comma paychecks? Pretty sure Naomi Osaka plays for the thrill of the game and because it pays really well. He said the reason they can make the big money is the TV contracts. Yeah, yeah. And Nike, and Nike, and these other endorsers putting their logos on players' backs because the TV is covering them playing the sport because they make it look good. The athletes are the money. Said part of why the TV channel is paying so much is to get those interviews.
No, I thought I'm gonna pipe in here. I don't, if I do watch sports, which I grew up watching tennis because my mom loved tennis and she used to play tennis, I would only watch like the actual sports. I didn't really care about the press conferences because it wasn't exciting. So all the endorsements and stuff are generally they're generally done during the sport, right? Because you can see the Nike logo and stuff. Exactly. I am gonna play devil's advocate here, and I'm going to play a devil's advocate because I am somebody that deals with with anxiety, depression, and it's pretty serious, and some other things too. I used to go to work when I was having panic attacks and when I couldn't breathe, and I used to force myself to get up and just go because I needed money. Like I had to get up and go. So it probably wasn't. And I had some serious stuff going on to where I was physically like unable to get up sometimes. It was really, really bad. And sometimes I get days like that, but I still press on and go to work. However, I don't think that someone should be forced to do something that they don't want to do. Yeah. And I do understand that she did have a contract.
Yeah.
I get that part. And that part is kind of hard because how can you, and I'm looking at this from now, not about the mental health thing, but looking at a contract. Like you do have to do what the contract says if you want to participate in certain things. I'm not saying it's right, but to an extent, if you sign a contract, you have certain responsibilities and obligations. Right. But I will say, I think that her suiting up and actually playing the sport, probably when she had some personal stuff going on, is more important than her going to the press conferences. Because I don't watch, like I would never watch a press conference. So the fact that she got up and she played, that's amazing. The only thing I'm kind of like on the fence about is like, if you're under contract for something, sometimes you just have to suit up and it sucks, but
the contract, I totally get, right? So the contract says if you don't do the media gigs, we'll fine you. She's got money. She's going to pay the fine. The problem was after she pays the fine. This is part of the contract. Contract says if you don't do it, you have to pay the fine. So she's like, I'll cut the check so I ain't got to do this shit. So she's not breaching contract.
Right.
Okay. The next part says if she continues to do this, she'll be removed from the tournament. So she said, fuck your tournament. I'll go do the next one. And I thought that was beautiful. She's exercising her right as a human fucking being. And people are mad at her because she decided to exercise her right as a human being. This is what's wrong with us. We don't consider people human beings. We choose corporations and contracts over persons, over people. There's somebody at the board of the French Open or whatever Open this was that would have said, hey, cut the chick some slack. It's all right, she don't want to do it. Let her catch it next time when she's feeling better. That's human fucking decency. Fuck your contracts. Fuck your corporation. Care about people. This is what's wrong with us. We choose contracts and bullshit over people. This is what's wrong with our society right now. Secondly, it's a woman. It's a fucking woman. They deal with all types of hormonal issues every month and so on and so forth. And you never know what a woman's going through. Mm-hmm. When Marshawn Lynch said, I don't want to talk to the media, motherfuckers was pretty quiet. The only people that had a problem was the media. A lot of people back beast mode when he said, yo, y'all know why I'm here. I'm just here so I won't get fined. And everybody loved it. Everybody thought it was funny. Everybody thought it was hilarious. But you know who hates it? Fucking red whites. And I can't stand them sometimes any more than the goddamn or any less than the goddamn blue whites. Because the red whites are fucking racist. They're fucking racist. They're fucking assholes. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Oh my God, you're a high paid athlete. You should be able to go and do the media presser. But these are the same ones that be mad when the media vilifies Trump. So whose side are you on? Are you on the people's side or are you on the media side? It's time to draw the line in the sand.
I feel like the issue, like after hearing what you said, I feel like the issue was created by the media. It really wasn't created by her at all. She just said she didn't want to do it and she paid her fine, keep it going. And then I feel like they kind of made it a big thing and then they kind of threatened her. And I would have done the same thing. I would have told you to go fuck yourself if you would have told me to do the same thing. Oh. So, and that was her, and that's her right. She's allowed to exercise that. But I feel like the media kind of blew it out of proportion. And I think other people are kind of inserting themselves when it's not really their business because their dumbasses aren't even going to watch a stupid press conference anyways. I don't watch those.
I don't watch them shits. When the game off, I turn it off. I don't want to see them badger players. Hey, what do you think you could have did better? What? Like,
I mean, it is part of the sport, but at the same time, she's not
part of the sport. It's part of money making. It's not that's part of sport. It's part of the
culture.
Network. No,
it is part of the culture that they have.
Part of the culture.
It is though.
It's not part of the culture. It's part of the network and the contracts between the league and the network. The network is trying to keep viewers longer on their channel. So they come up with this idea and say, hey, let's do pressers afterwards so we can get some money off these athletes, so we can get some money off the league. This is parasitic behavior by the media. Nobody needs the media there.
They don't, but this is what the industry has turned into with sports, and it's not fair. It's fucked up. It's
not a culture. It's corporatism.
Corporatism is a culture, though. It is a corporate. It is
corporatism.
But it's a lifestyle that a lot of people take onto their own.
Not a part of the sport. When I go outside and I train my boys, nobody asked them any fucking questions. When he finished our game on Sundays and Saturdays, nobody asked them no fucking questions. Where's the fucking media? If it's part of the sport, where's the fucking media?
But it's a different level.
You know, when they show up, when they think they can get some money. Oh, let's get this scoop. This kid's going to be the next LeBron James. He's going to be the next Michael Jordan. It's somebody looking out for their own fucking career. They're not somebody that's looking out for the sport. If they were looking out for the sport, if the media was looking, if the media cared about the sport and the people in the sport, they wouldn't have badgered Serena Williams to the point she cried, and he wouldn't have badgered Naomi to the point where she had to leave the open.
Do you think this is just exclusive to women's sports, or does it happen in male sports too? I'm talking about the bullying because it sounds
men's sports too. Men just handle the shit differently. Kyrie be having problems with the media, and people be mad at Kyrie. The red whites are always mad at Kyrie when he doesn't fucking do a presser or talk to the media. That's how the red whites operate. They feel like the athletes should just fall in line. When the white man speaks, you're supposed to listen. This is some ignorant funky shit. I don't know. Down south, never flag shit. Something wrong with them. Something really fucked up in their minds. Like people got to do what they say. You gotta do what we say, right? You better follow orders. You make millions of dollars, and it's just like, at any given moment, I can say fuck you. And if you have a problem with it, that's your problem.
How did it get to this point, though?
To what point?
How did sports become so convoluted to where they have all these press conferences and the sports teams are, really taking advantage of the players and kind of forcing them to do this stuff to where the leagues have to come in, they have to sign these contracts, and that's in the contract that if you don't do X, then we're going to fine you. How is there a way to fix it, or is it's just what it is? Of course
there's a way to fix it. Absolutely, you can fix it. If you start treating people like human beings. That's how I used to tell people, man, like when you sign them contracts, you basically a high paid slave. Oh, they're not slaves. They get paid a lot of money. Yeah, but Them contracts be binding them. Certain things they can and cannot do. Can't go here, can't go there, can't wear this, can't wear that, can't say this, can't do that. Look at Abdul Rauf. Nobody remembers Abdul Rauf. I know Chad remembers Abdul Rauf. Abdul Rauf prayed to the wrong God. He ain't got his career back. And he could ball. Can't do this, can't do that. You gotta play a little games to participate in the white liberals world. And then the white liberal runs the little circuits, and then the red whites support the shit. And don't even know that all this stuff is tied together politically. And they still support the shit. And then they wonder why their president can't win a fucking election.
My only question is that what, like, somebody that's really good at sports, that, you know, that deserves to be pro, that is very, very talented. What's the other option for them, though?
Other than sports?
Well, no, what I'm saying is, okay, you're a really, really great soccer player, amazing soccer player. A team wants to pick you up, but when you go to professional sports, they've got all these stipulations. They make their players sign contracts. They make them do X, Y, and Z. How does somebody protect themselves from that so they don't have to do all that stuff?
It depends on how good you are. LeBron James can leave 5 minutes and 47 seconds left in the game and nobody gonna attack him because he's important to the sport.
Naomi sounds like she's important to the sport, though.
She is. They're going to cater to her. Watch how they change these rules up going forward. A lot of shit's going to change with that whole women's tennis shit. A lot of shit's going to change behind that. The white liberals going to piggyback off it, and they're going to act like a parasite. They're going to bring us back to mental health and all this other shit. It's probably going to trickle down to black men and white men or some shit like that. We're going to be to blame for this for some reason, somehow. But I really think it needs to be, you know, we need to take a look at this. If an individual says, yo, I'm not feeling up to this, I'll catch you next time. As human beings, we should be able to overlook contracts.
I think we should too. I think the way she handled it, to where she paid the fine and just kept it moving, I think that was fine. I didn't see anything wrong with that. I do see a problem with the media, that the way that they turned this around and they kind of made her seem like the villain when she wasn't, because she did what she was supposed to do.
I mean, if you have to know her personality in order to feel bad for her. Right. And I've seen her personality. She's an introverted person. She's a very shy person to begin with. She wouldn't hurt anybody. When I say anybody, she's a
right.
sweetheart.
But I feel bad for her that the media, not that I feel bad for her, but I feel sad that the media, you know, is giving her a hard time and making a big issue about it. However, I will say that this maybe was a good thing that it happened, because it might change different things that do happen in women's tennis.
Yeah, it needs to switch up, man. I remember they made Serena break down cry. Like, you gotta deal with that shit, Serena. You know how much you gay this sport? This sport runs on Serena, man. You know, like, if Serena, Venus, and Naomi drop out, won't nobody watch the shit. It's the facts.
Well, they're great players. They really are. I remember watching them when I was growing up.
You take half these black players out of the NBA, ain't nobody watching that shit. Take half the niggas out of the NFL, nobody's watching it. The shit's dead. A lot of shit gonna change.
How do you think it's gonna change, though?
I don't know. I have a very hands-off approach when it comes to sports. I say fuck all that shit, which is why I don't understand. Like the red whites, they'll sit up there and say, oh, you know, celebrity worship and so on and so on. And it's just like, are you feeding this shit energy when you getting upset at them? If they're irrelevant, then they're irrelevant. Don't talk about this shit. Focus on building your family and your community. Why the fuck you talk about Naomi Osaka? Why you even got an opinion? We published an article today on our blog that we built with our team, johncord.com. And what happened? Who started giving their attention to us? Giving their attention to Naomi Osaka. And it's like, who asked for your 2 cents? And like, what happens in your mind when you think somebody cares about your 2 cents? Like, you know how like fucked up you got to be in the head to think that, oh, I have to leave my comment under this tweet so people know how I feel. Like, that's some entitled white shit. That shit is just stupid. Let me tell you about yourself. Let me leave my comment here. This is preposterous.
Like the gentleman that comments on my YouTube videos and asks me to put my hair back so he can see my ears.
Yeah, like shit like that. Like, shut up. Nobody's obligated to do anything. Like, people complained about me eating on stream. So I started eating on stream. Fuck you. You don't pay my bills, bitch. Pay my bills and I might listen to you.
I think it's so funny.
Tell me what you hate so I can do it more. That's how I operate. Because you got to get over yourself at some point. You have to get over yourself. You have to learn to control you. I'm doing me. You control you. If everybody worried about themselves, this whole world would fix itself overnight. If everybody just worried about themselves and stop worrying about other people, what other people are doing, and have an ounce of compassion, an ounce, and just
and
say,
decency.
Right. And just say, well, let me look at Naomi's side. They didn't look at Naomi's side. They just said, high paid athlete. This person's making more money than me, so fuck them.
But just because you're a high paid athlete doesn't mean that you don't have illnesses and you don't have personal things going on. It doesn't change the fact that you're still a human being and that you're feeling a certain type of way. And if you're not feeling well, and it's a real thing, because I do know that some of the younger generation, they are
it's a broke mentality. Only
Which part?
broke motherfuckers think like that.
Which part?
That people with money are somehow different.
Oh no, they're not different. They're the same.
But the only people that act like that is because their pockets is hurting.
Exactly.
That's the only reason why they think like that. Because when you got money, you don't think like that. You start seeing human beings in everyone when you got money. You don't see, oh, he's got money, so he shouldn't have any problems.
You do have problems, though. There's different things. Like, for example, if you have money and you have a family member that passes away or a close friend that passes away, you're going to be sad. It's going to hurt you because you had an emotional attachment to it. There are some people that have that mental thing where they don't have any emotions or whatever, and it doesn't bother them. But people, and one of the things I will bring up, and this does go back to sports, the way when Kobe Bryant did pass and his daughter did pass, I felt my heart just kind of broke for the wife, for Vanessa, because not only did she lose her partner, but she lost one of her children. And the whole thing was so sad. It was heartbreaking the way they treated her and just different things about it. And it didn't sit right with me. And just because she has money and that she's well taken care of doesn't mean that she's not going to miss her husband and she's not going to grieve for her child. I watched my mother-in-law grieve for her child when he passed away. And it just was it's a very hurtful thing when just because somebody is of a status or they have money, that when they're going through like real pain, that people can't, they just see them differently. And it's because those people are not physically tangible, because they're not tangible. It's not like they can reach out and touch them. So they feel it's just a bizarre thing. And the whole thing with Naomi, she paid the fine. So who cares?
Right. And if they say, look, we need you to do pressers or else. And she goes, well, fuck it. I'm out the motherfucking program. Why do you care? Why do people care to vilify her?
I don't think she's a villain. She's not a villain at all.
No, this is how people are reacting. This is how the red whites are reacting to it.
She just didn't want to do something. And okay. This is the thing. If she would have came up there and said, I don't want to do this. And then they gave her the fine because it was in the contract, because we do have to take into consider the contract. Yeah. But if she would have said, no, I'm not paying this because blah, 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 then maybe someone could have painted the villain that way. Maybe. But she said, I don't want to do it. This is the fine. I'm going to pay the fine. And she kept it moving. Yeah.
And then they said, you can't play in a tournament. She's like, well, then I won't play in a tournament. I think that's very fucking empowering. I think that's really fucking empowering. I've done that my entire life. Ever since my first job at Burger King. Did I ever tell you that story?
No, I want to hear though, because I used to like to eat the Burger King chicken tenders because there was a Burger King by my mom's house when I was growing up. Hey, you know what? When you have no money, you can pay 99 cents for four chicken tenders.
Yeah.
Then you're doing big things, okay?
Yeah. So I get called in on my day off. Yo, we need you to help out. I was gonna hang out with the homies. I was like, fine, fuck it, I'll be there. I said, how long I gotta stay till? Stay till 1. All right. 1 come around. He said stay till 2. All right, I'll stay till 2. Fuck it. 2 come around. He like stay till 3. I'm like, bro, come on. Like I'll stay till 3, but that's it, yo. 3 come around. He like, yo, stay till 4 or 5 or something like that. Stay till 4. And I was like, yeah, I gotta go. I already gave you as much as I could. You know, I try my best. And he said to me, well, if you go, you're fired.
Bye.
I looked at him like, bitch. Took my shirt off. I threw it right in his face. See, the problem is he thought I was some young black kid who was poor and needed that job. But really, I was raised in a double 6-figure household and I wanted that job because I wanted my own money, but I didn't need that shit. And he called me back to work the next day and said, yo, can you come in? I said, bitch, I quit. Didn't I throw my shirt at you yesterday? Like, leave me the fuck alone. But that's empowering, right? But you can only do that when you have power. If I needed that job, I might have had to stay till 5. He would have had that over my head, right? Because maybe bills got to get paid, rent, baby need new shoes, whatever it is. He would have had that power over me, that leverage. But Naomi Osaka, she got millions in the bank. She don't need that shit no more. So when she flexes up power, I'm like, good for her. Because a lot of people wouldn't do that. A lot of people would have capitulated. And that is what I would have called weakness. What she showed was not weakness. What she showed was strength. And that's what people get in shit.
Well, I tell people no now all the time when it comes to work with something I don't feel comfortable doing it. I used to not do that because for different reasons, because of the way I was brought up and whatnot. But again, I'm working on establishing boundaries in my personal and my work life and just different things. And I'm able to tell people no. And
yeah,
it feels good. It feels really, really good to not have to do something you don't want to do.
Absolutely. That's the problem in the world. People are forced to make decisions.
Well, I mean, also too, one thing to note is you can't, like we talked about, there's no such thing as equality unless it comes down to mathematics. And when we're talking about people, everybody has a different story. They have a different way that they were brought up or they were raised or different life things or forces impacting them. So empowerment for one person is going to be empowerment for the next person is going to be different. And you know, different people might stay at a job for different reasons, and it might not be about the money. It could be like some sort of ego thing also. No. So that's just my opinion.
No, Hey, yo, Herb, yo, you're not welcome in my channel no more. Stop showing up, bro. Timed out again, yo. This is a dictatorship, not a democracy. This is how I run my show, yo. You're not gonna disrespect Naomi Osaka in my chat. I'm just sorry. You gonna have to come with some intelligence. If you're gonna disagree, come with some intelligence. Otherwise, you get the fuck up out of here.
We were just talking about how terribly people treated her and how they weren't paying attention to like what was really going on, and you kind of broke down the situation and dissected it. So why?
Yeah. Because the red whites. This is ignorant red whites. This is what's wrong with them. They fucked up in their head.
What's a red white?
Basically a Republican.
Oh, okay.
Republican, conservative. And then the blue whites are like Democrats and liberals. Socialist, Marxists. Yeah. The only good white is a yellow white, and they're still kind of questionable. That's the Libertarian Party. I'm still like looking at them as side eye like, I'm waiting for y'all to turn into them other white people any second now.
My husband is he's more of that. He's more of the yellow white.
Yeah, they're cool people.
Yeah, he's more the yellow white because he just wants to be able to buy guns and ammo and protect his family and go to work every day and provide. That's all he cares about. And working on and being in his garage working on his race car. He doesn't care about anything else. He doesn't even want to go to dinner with his wife.
Yeah. He shouldn't. Nobody wants to go to dinner with their wife. It's boring.
Did your fiance watch any of these at all?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what is she like? She just is like.
She knows me.
Okay.
She knows me very well, so there's nothing I can say that's gonna really surprise her.
My husband's the same way. He's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just like whatever.
Well,
She finds them funny.
do you want to plug anything before we go?
Hotep's been told you tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern time is gonna be a hot one. We got a lot to talk about. We got some leaks to talk about, some emails leaked this week, some Biden gaffes again. It's gonna be a good one. We're gonna be here 8 p.m. right here. Make sure y'all subscribe.
All right. Well, I'm going to go out because I'm going to go get some delicious bean and cheese burritos with guacamole.
Enjoy your dinner, Wendy.
Bye, guys. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and follow Hotep and set alerts for tomorrow night. You do not want to miss it. I might pop in and listen for a little bit until you guys start yelling, and I'm going to get scared and hop out of the chat. All right. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much.
Bye, y'all.
Bye. Like, comment, subscribe, and follow Hotep and set alerts for tomorrow night. You do not want to miss it. I might pop in and listen for a little bit until you guys start yelling, and I'm going to get scared and hop out of the chat. All right. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much.
Bye, y'all.